Okay, can someone tell me to create a table, what are all the steps we need to take care? While you are creating a new table, what are the steps you need to take care yourself?
And if you want to create the table, we have to. If you want to create the table, we have to write the table, create table name.
Okay, database
and open bracket.
So that is the first step here.
Yes, and database in the place here. Then write the you can see the new query window. So in the new query window, we can write open the new query window. And then write in the new query window, write create table name.
So the create table name. What are all the different formats it would accept over here?
It was accepted database dot schema name dot table name, schema name dot table name or table name.
Yes, database dot schema dot table name or schema dot table name.
Schema dot table name or table name.
Or table name. That's perfect. And what else? What else?
And then we can write the query, create the table name.
So how many columns your table must contain to create a table structure? Your table must contain at least one.
Minimum 2 columns. Minimum 2 columns.
One column also fine. Why not a 2? I can create a table ID something like that, where
but that purpose may not be solved, correct? For example, ID will be the what purpose will be there. But for example, if you want to be using the table, different tables, merging of the table, okay, we can create one ID also, but the purpose may not be having any purpose, correct? The table.
I can have. Let's take there is a situation. I'm just storing all the input values, input IDs, something. Just assume a scenario. I'm just having all the list of the persons who attended to this one. So a table where it contains the just ID. That ID will give me all the persons who joined the class. So now I have another table where it has the ID and the name and all. This table has the ID. So for the current session, so I can look into who are all not attended for the current session. So if the ID is not in this table, then that person is not attended for today's session. So
and that is correct only, but you mean that
you can use.
No more intellect. My question is no more. Okay, we can create it, but that table ID column and what is in another table, there no more link in between. We cannot create this relation between these two tables.
Whatever the ID you have, that column, that can be linked with the other table. That's not an issue. Okay, so we can use with the single column also we can use, but in general in usage it may not be that much useful, but still you can use the single column tables just to hold the input values. Okay, that's not an issue. Technically, there is no restriction saying that you should have at least 2 columns. Not like that. Okay.
No, not restricted, but I'm talking about the real scenario. But at least minimum 2 columns is there. That's what I understood. But
no, it's not at least 2 columns. Okay. Next, coming to the DDL commands. What are all the commands we have gone through it?
DDL command is data definition language. It's having the create, alter, draw.
Others also feel free to type or while one person is talking, others feel free to write down let's say chart also. Okay. Create,
alter, drop, rename,
okay,
and truncate.
Cool, good. And DML commands?
Data manipulation language, that is command is insert, select, update, delete, merge.
Perfect. Update, delete,
merge.
Now the question is, if I want to, I have a table where the column has the something I give as the first name of var character 50, Now I want to change.
I'm not. It's not clear actually. It's not clear actually. The voice actually. What you're talking about that one.
Okay, are you guys able to hear me? So
Yes, now it's
yeah,
better.
yeah. Now my question is, we have a table where the employee table and the first name.
Still not. Still the problem.
One second, guys. Okay, we have a table. Are you guys able to hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Sometimes hearing, sometimes getting disturbance.
Could you please adjust your mic? Okay, and see
Uh,
whether it is at your end or not. Okay. I see a lot of people can able to hear properly. So I just want to
okay,
make sure that
no issue.
you please make sure that adjust your mic. Okay. So first listen my question, then you can feel free to answer. My question is, I have a table where I have the EMP table, and column is I have defined as first name.
If you can, if you can write that quietly because I'm not able to. Sorry for that. I don't know.
Hello.
Yeah, now it's good.
Yeah, so we have a table, employee table, where is the first name we have defined as varchar of 50. Now I want to change my varchar 50 to varchar 20. I want to change that one. So what is the command I have to use this one? Alter table emp.
Yeah, we are using table name,
Mhm.
Alter command.
alter table name.
Perfect.
Okay, sorry, alter table name and alter column name and what you want to change that one. Then our data type we can give that one.
So alter table emp, alter column first name varchar 20. This is written by the somebody name not displaying over there, but they waiting for name, something like that. It was there. Yes, this syntax is correct. Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. Then let's take. I have a column of first name. I have a column employee name, EMP name, but I want to split this name into employee first name, employee last name. What we need to do?
Employee first name.
I have a column saying that employee name. Now I want to split this name to employee first name and last name. So
Yeah, that's
SP
we want
rename.
no, SP underscore rename
okay,
and database names dot schema name dot table name dot column name and colons
but if
and
you
comma.
rename, you can rename either to first name or to last name, right? But I want to have only the first name and last name. I don't want the employee name.
And you want to split into two columns, correct?
Yes, I want to create a first name and last name. So a rename is not going to be helpful for me here, because if I rename, I can go for rename to only one type, either first name or last name. That is not the
I
intention. So
understand.
I have to drop the employee name. I have to create
And
few columns, first name and last name. But we need
We
to
can add
make,
that one.
yeah, we need to make sure that during this exercise, first you add the first name and last name, then update your first name, last name columns with the data, whatever you have with the employee name, then drop the employee name column. Okay,
That's correct.
that is the flow. We have to make sure that whenever you are altering something, that right, you need to make sure whenever you are dropping one object, you need to make sure that the the data in the other columns should be reflect the what you are to do. Suppose if I want to, let's take, we have the database here, right? So we'll come back to that question again, because I need to talk about the update statement, then only I can tell you this information, right? So the steps are, first create new columns, first name and last name, then populate first name and last name columns based on employee name, then drop emp name column. Okay, that is the flow we need to do. Yes. Now my next question is, let's take what is the difference between drop command or alter drop command? What is the difference between
Yeah.
drop and alter drop?
The drop we can use for the table for object use, and here alter we are drop we can use for the column.
Perfect. Okay. So this ends the, any questions? Okay.
No.
So here we discussed about the DDL. Coming back to the DML, data manipulation language, insert or
That's
select.
what I'm saying, correct?
Yes.
What I'm saying that correct?
That's right. That's why we move to the next topic. Okay. Yeah. Suppose if I want to insert the multiple columns or multiple rows into the table in a given step, what is the syntax? The insert the multiple records into the table with a single statement. So we can write
insert into the table
name
and values that we can give that one whatever that comma, then next to like that.
So it has to be the page. So okay, it should be the values. The syntax should be like this: insert into table name, column names. If you want to specify the column names, column 1, comma, column 2, comma, something like that, and then the values of the value 1, comma, value 2. Again, under set of value 1, comma, value 1, 2, like that. So this is the way you can insert the multiple records into the given table. So now next thing we want to, you can insert the records from your table. Okay, let's take, I have a table HR TBL underscore employee, right? I want to create a copy of this table. Whenever I mentioned a copy of this table means the structure plus data. I want to create a copy of the table employee as TBL employee 1. So what are the different ways we can do that one? So the task is create a copy for HR.TBL underscore employee table. Can anyone elaborate the steps what you can think of?
Can you repeat the question one more time, please?
The question is, we already have a table called HR.TBL employee. Now I want to create a copy of the table same as TBL employee. Copy means I need the structure plus data both.
There is a concept called create table.
Yeah, and we can write that one insert into the table name.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry. We can write that one select star.
So I don't want the query first thing. Could you please 1 minute? I want the steps to execute this one. So what is your step by step? I don't want the query right away. I want the steps. What are the points you would take? And could you please, yeah. First step. What is the first step? Just give me the high level. Okay, create a table or drop a table or insert a table. Yes. Okay. Create a new table and create a new table. Okay, but I need the same structure. Okay, remember that part. Okay, next step.
Populate the data from the old table to the new table.
Okay, populate data from old table to new table. Okay, now, okay, these two steps. First step, create a new table, but this new table should be the same as the old table structure, right? Old table schema. So how would you do this one? One way.
Can we have like this something, because in, there is a concept called syntax where it says create table name, select star from the previous table. So
Create
one option.
table names. Let's take TBL underscore EMP1. No.
I'm unable to see in that screenshot, sir. What you're rating actually? Sorry. Everybody seeing? Actually, I'm not only seeing.
I think everybody must be able to see this one. Please let me know if you're not.
And I'm second point. I'm only seeing POPP. That's all. Only after that, what you're rating, I'm not able to see.
Sorry, guys. Everybody else also facing the same issue?
No, I'm seeing right now. I don't know. But I'm taking a lot of time actually to updating for that one.
Maybe you need to relog in, sir. Could you please try to relog in?
Yeah, I'll do that then. Can you just hold on one thing? I'll come back to you. Just okay. I'll be. I know. Yeah, I'll just one.
Meanwhile, guys, so first we need to create a table. So there is no table, as someone already mentioned, saying that, hey, create a table from the select. So there is no create table from the select. Okay. So there is no syntax saying that create table from other table, not like that. Okay. Select star into to the temporary table you can create. Okay. You can create a information to the temporary table, but you can't create a physical table with the information. For that purpose, so what the simplest ways are, first thing is you can take a script from this table, create to a new query window, and you can rename this table, okay, underscore copy. So I can just click execute. So this is the one way. You can just create a take the schema of the previous table and rename the table name and execute it. That way you can now you got created a same structure, the different table. Now select star from HR dot TBL underscore employee, execute. So it's not able to identify because why? This query window is selected for on the master database, right? I need to switch back to online store. Then select here, execute, we're able to. So now if I select the select star from HR dot table employee underscore copy, so it doesn't have any data, but the table structure got created. Now second step, we need to populate this data from the old table. We need to populate this data from the old table, right? So for that purpose, you can insert into the old table HR.tbl employee, select star from this one. So sorry. You can write a command, insert into the table the values you can select from the other object. So if I into copy, yes, you are right. Insert into the new table from the old table. 6 rows affected. So now if I select these two tables, both are created. Okay, you made this kind of transaction. Now you need to verify your data, whether the both tables are exactly same or not. I want to see, I have two tables. I just want to make sure that the two tables data is exactly same or not. Can anyone tell me? Any idea if you have, if you already know the SQL or anything, if you already have any idea, feel free to speak out and tell me, how can I compare two objects whether both are exactly same or not?
Writing with conditions.
With conditions. What kind of conditions?
If condition, like
By comparing employee ID from both the tables.
Okay. So by comparing the employee ID for the both tables. So let's take, I have a employee ID in the first table 1, and the second table also I have the same employee ID 1, but in the first table the first name is mentioned as employee 1. In the second table the first name is mentioned as employee 10. Then
maybe primary key and reference keys we need to while creating the table.
yeah, so the thing is, if we go by the one key concept wise, yes please.
You can also select now where HR name is a duplicate or last name is a duplicate.
Okay, that would just give me the duplicate values, right? So our question is, Ramesh, we need to compare exactly these two tables are exactly same or not. All the columns, all the rows. Whether it could be 2 columns or it could be 10 columns or it could be 20 columns. So if I go by the one primary key concept wise, or if I just pick up the few rows, that won't give me the complete information. So there is a command called accept command. We have the accept command that would give you, you can take the first query like this. First query, first I'm reading the data from the table employee except the employee 2. Suppose then if I run this one, what this should return me is, if there are some records in the table employee which are not in the table employee copy, those things will be written over here. If I run this one, currently it is not returning anything for me, which means there is no record which is exist in employee and which is not exist in the employee copy. Vice versa, I need to check also. I need to check vice versa also.
So for example, if both are same, what will be getting written values?
Nothing. The written value is nothing because there is nothing difference in both table. That's why the result set is nothing. So except clause will tell you the first query results, the value exists in the first query results and not exist in the second query results. That records will be written from the except. Okay, now as we know, we just copied from the employee to the employee copy and we just compared two tables. There is no records showing up, means both tables are exactly matching. Let me go back and do few updates to the employee table. Okay, I'm going back to my employee table. Let me read my employee table. I want to update the data. First thing is, I want to update all this first name. It's showing as FEMP1, FEMP3 like that, right? I want to make sure that first name employee 1, first name employee 2, first name employee 3, like that. I want to give for all the F names, I want to give the name. It has to be replaced F with FEMP, first. Okay. My input values are expected output is expected output. So first let me write down the query. Update update each record first name should reflect first EMP and the employee number, EMP number, which is like first EMP1, first EMP2, first EMP3, like that. I want my first name should be updated. These are the examples. My first name should be updated to first EMP1, first EMP2, first EMP3. Is the question clear?
But MySQL doesn't accept operator, right?
No, I'm not going to be talk away accept operator right away. Okay, I'm just giving. I want to have my records should be updated with the value like this. Okay, currently I have FEMP1. I want to update that one to first EMP1, and here also the record is FEMP3. This is not accurate. I want to make sure this record name is first EMP or first name. I can make it first name EMP1. Okay, first name EMP2, first name EMP3. This 1, 2, 3 should be from the employee ID. 1, 2, 3. So this record should have first name EMP6. This record should have first name EMP5. This record should have first name EMP2. Is it clear? The ask is clear or not?
Yeah.
Okay. So to update this one, the update syntax is update. If you have the table alias, you can mention those things, or you can just give update table name. Okay, tbl underscore hr dot tbl underscore employee. Set is the command. If you want to update a particular column, you need to give the set command, and the column name is equal to the value. Okay, set. We are updating the first name or F name column, right? F name is equal to the new value. So if you want to give the completely new value, you can give that new value, or if you want to modify the existing F name, you can trim that one. So after equal to, you have to give the exactly what you want to update. So I want to, if you see my example on the top, all these records, the first name EMP is the constant value, right? For each record, this is the constant. Only changing one is the employee ID. So I can append. Okay, I can first write first name EMP. That is the constant for every record, right? Okay. Plus is the overload operator here. If you use the integers, it will do the addition. If you use the string and the integer or string and string, it will do the append. So the plus is a overload operator over here. So the plus and EMP ID. So EMP ID here, it is the column name, right? So the column name, it is not a constant value. It is not a constant value. It is a column name. So for each record, it will run and it will take that record and it will append to this one. So whenever I updated this table employee, set F name, the first name is equal to, I'm appending with first name employee to the employee ID. I'm not writing any where clause or anything. I'm not limiting any rows over here, right? So I'm just updating whole table. So let's update over here. Okay, so here one is the first name is the varchar value, another one is the small int. So that's why it is a failing. So we can convert. Okay, character of employee ID, you can have the 2 or 3, whatever it is, right? So it's going to be, you can have the till 10 or 12, something like that. So I can, for now, for based upon our data, we just have the 1 digit. So I can convert to the 1 value. Okay. You can take the same varchar here also, that's fine. So I'm just converting my small into this value. So one is the string value, another one is integer. So appending is overload function. To overload this one, it's required the both should be the same type. So we can't convert this one to the numeric. There is no meaning. We can convert the employee ID to the string. So now if I go back and select my table, see all the records are appended with the first name EMP and the record ID. So for this record, we have the two records. So it's mentioned the first name EMP1. This is also first name EMP1. Any questions on this command?
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Like we don't have to mention which column the EMP ID has to take and append.
We
It
mentioned, right?
automatically takes like, yeah.
Which
No,
we
no, what
mentioned.
I meant to say is like the first name employee 1 is taking that row's employee ID, right?
Exactly.
It does automatically?
Yes. So it is the
Is
row
it the
by row
same?
execution. It's the row by row execution, right? If you mention
Okay.
the employee ID
Okay.
in that row, for the first name, append this value to the employee ID, whatever you have. So all these operations will execute row by row internally.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. Now I have
And,
updated my.
one,
Yes, please.
one more question. One more question. For example, you're writing first name employee ID because you written there is a constant value for each one. For example, the first name for each record is a different name will be there. So in that case, I can write first name instead of first name. Can I directly
Use that name.
FN name?
So yeah, you can directly use the F name, and you just want to append the ID. You can write just append ID. So instead of hard coding the value, you can just use the F name, whatever the value you have, and plus employee ID. You can. It's based upon the what the output you are
In
requiring.
that case, I F name I had putting in the colon inside the colon, not
No,
required colon.
no. If you place anything
This is
within the
value.
single quotes, if you place anything within the quote, that would be treated as a constant value, which means that is not a column. And if it is a column, it should not be mentioned within the quotes. It should be, there should not be any. Here, if you see,
Okay, and we can we just want to repeat it one more time that F set F name is equal to F name plus converter where
yes,
cap comma
yes,
EMD. That's all.
yes,
Huh?
that's it.
Thank you.
Okay, now I have updated my employee table, right? And my employee copy has a different values. If our query on the except clause is right, it should show us the difference now, right? So now if I run this one, see, it's all displayed. And if I go by this one also, this will show the same thing. But this one give the value from this employee copy because the except clause take the select query one. If it is not exist in the query to display that one, that is the except clause function. So this record is not exist because there is no EMP1 in the employee table. That's why it's showing as EMP1 here. Whereas here it took from the employee table first preference, right? That's why the values written here all the employee record. So if you want to compare the two tables, the best way to go is the except clause. Okay, now let's do some more update commands. The same way I can do for the last name also. I want to update for the last name also. So when I'm doing the last name, suppose if I want to update more than one column, you need not to write the update command 2 times. You can just have the one update command, set command. On the comma separated, you can write the other comments. Tel name is equal to last name EMP plus this one. So you can just comma separated and you can use the multiple set operations with the single set command. Okay. All the records got here. Now let's take, I want to give the date of birth, insert time. Let's take, there is no insert time here. I want to give the insert time as current timestamp. I want to give the insert time as current timestamp. Can anyone tell me how to insert the current timestamp if you have, if you already know? Insert time is equal to
Insert time is equal to date time. The convert date.
System time?
yeah,
System
like
time.
like system time in SQL Server, exactly. Like system time in SQL Server, there is a function called get date time. Okay, get date. Get date function is
Get
there.
date in opening format.
Yeah. So this function will get the current get date time. Okay. So if you want to see what is the value in this get date, you can simply select this one. You can simply select get date, this function. That will give you current time. This is the date time. It is not the date time.
And one more
yeah.
And I got small clarification on the get date.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if you work in India, the get date time is taking a system time or maybe universal time.
That's a good question. So the basically the get date will take the timestamp where your SQL Server got installed on the server. Okay, let's take you are in India, but your server is located in US, and you just give the get date. So it's always take the system timestamp where your machine got installed. Okay, if you want to get the universal time, then get UTC date.
Okay, but generally, all the clients, how they're following the date maybe?
The date is taken from where your machine got inserted. So sorry, installed. So basically, if I was I'm writing this one, right? So if I connected to this machine, which is my local machine, I run this get date, I will get my current timestamp because my machine is my local. And you are in India, let's assume, and you are queried the select get date because your server is located in India, so it will get the get date as same thing, India IST time. But you are querying, you are connected to a database which is located in PST time zone, which is a server hosted in the PST time zone, and you are writing a get date, then it will return the PST time zone. Is it clear?
Okay,
It's based upon
that means we can very clear on that which server you're working on that one mainly.
Exactly. The server, on which server you are executing the query and where that server got located. That is the main concept over here. Okay. So if you want to get the UTC time, you can use the get UTC. And if you want to get the date, you can use this one. And one more thing you can see here, I'm not getting any column names over here. I'm just getting the values, right? So when I use a functions or something like this, it will just return the value. It won't give the any name to this one. So if you want to give the column aliasing, you can give as UTC time as local time or server time, I can mention. If I give the as and the command, it will give me the column header. We'll come back to the select command in a few minutes, like the aliasing and all the concepts once again. But as the situation comes, I just talk about that one. So now come back to the update command. We did the update over here. Suppose I'm executing this command again and again. What happening? It is overwriting the values every time. Okay, so that's why you are not able to see any difference in the, let's take select star from TBL underscore EM employee. I have a question for you guys. Now, when I execute this one, it will give me the HR dot, right? So I got the information timestamp, which is, if you see my timestamp here, 1741, 742. This query executed at the 741.50. Now I'm executing again and again. How would you say this data is updating? How would you
Only
ensure
for
that?
time will be updating different ways.
Exactly. Only time will represent for me the timestamp. And if you see here, this is, as we learned, this is the get date functions or return the date time. Date time will return me only date part and time part and 3 nanoseconds. That's why we have the .657 only. Okay. Any questions on this part? The next command I can go for is the delete command. If I want to delete the data from a given table, I don't want some record or I don't want any record, then I can go for the delete command. Okay, so delete column names, or you can give the column names whatever it is, or you can't delete a single column value. You can update a single column value, but whenever come to the deletion, it is a total row. Okay, it is a total row. So delete from HR underscore.
I have a quick question on except command.
Yes, please.
The except command is only for the identical tables, or tables with different structures can we use, or the tables need to be of the same structure, A and B?
That's a cool question. So basically, except will take the query 1 and query 2, only thing. But the thing is, the number of columns the first query is returning and the number of columns next query is returning must be the same, and both must be the same data type. Okay, if the first query is returning the column 1 and column 2, second query, it could be from the table 1. Okay, and it is column 1 or column 2 from the any other table, or it could be from the table. Only thing it would see is this data type and this data type is same or not, and number of columns in the first query and number of columns in the second query, and the data types are matching or not. That's the only thing it would see. Okay, it doesn't care about from which table you are reading. It just take as a result set the first result set except second result set. Is it answer your question?
Yes, so I can conclude that if the tables are not same structure type, we cannot execute a except command.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So if delete from HR employee, suppose if I do like this, 6 records got deleted. Now if I go back to this one, I don't have any data. Now I want to get my data back. What should I do? I lost all my data in the table.
Insert into the table.
Yes.
Roll back.
Roll back, no. If you use the transactions, then only you can roll back. If you don't have the transaction commands used, then you can't use the rollback. The second option someone mentioned is I can use the copy table to get my data back. Okay, insert into TBL underscore employee, select star from TBL underscore employee underscore copy. Why it is showing error for the TBL employee? The schema, if I didn't mention the schema, it will take the default schema, which is DBO. DBO is not exist. That's why it's showing error over there. Okay. Now I can back my data, but insert time won't be there because this update is not updated, right?
I said everybody getting the problem. I'm only getting the problem, sir.
I'm not sure what problem are you referring.
Actually, sometimes because I'm not able to hearing the audio, and sometimes I'm not able to seeing it. Whenever typing, I'm after few minutes, few seconds or 30 seconds, I'm able to see the typing query.
I'm not sure. Could you please someone?
Because I'm already log out and logging inside actually, but I don't know. This is today only first time, and the past 4 days I didn't face a problem.
I'm not sure, Lax. I'm not sure. Can someone confirm me? Are you facing the same issue? Anyone is
No,
facing the same issue?
from here it is clear, no interruption from my
No,
side.
sir. Video and audio both are clear.
Okay. Sorry, Lax.
Maybe there is some internet issue there.
Yeah, there could be the internet issue.
Okay, thank you. No problem. I think so. Combined with it, I don't know.
Oh yeah. Let's come back to the. We gone through the insert command. We gone through the select command. We gone through the update command, and we gone through the delete command. Now let's sync back to. Let's take. If I want to do filter the rows, I don't want to. Whenever I do the select star from table, it's giving me all the records. I don't want to select all the records all the time. I just want to select whatever the records I want to. So how to filter the data? How to filter the data? Filter the data from the
Using where clause.
exactly. A lot of guys, you know, select star from table HR dot tbl employee. Yes, where class. Where class will help us to filter the data from the query result set whatever we got it. So where, let's take, I want to get all the employee records less than 3. Where empid is less than.
Can I interrupt?
Yes, please.
Can I interrupt, sir?
Go ahead.
Actually, previously you're deleting the data from the TBL employee, all the rows, all
Yes.
the values.
Yes.
But in the real scenario, because HR TBL employees already having the copy for you, but general scenario it may not be available that copy. Then in that scenario, what we have to do?
So in real scenario, that's a very good, interesting question. Basically, in the systems, people won't do the hard delete. Okay, in a real work environment, I never, until unless it is 100% confirmed, double confirmed, we won't do the hard delete. We will keep a column called is deleted. Let's take, you created accounts, right? Or an employee. One employee joined in our organization. After some time, he resigned. He left the company. Then you don't need that employee record in your employee table. But how would you make sure that these are the already current employees or these are already left? For the left employees, we won't go and delete those records back. If I delete, if sometime back he come back and say that, hey, can you give me my experience letter, or during some period I did something like that. If you delete the record, you lost all the information related to that record. So we will never do the hard delete in the table. Always we will use the flags to enable yes or no kind of things. So is active. Let's take, we can add a flag in the table saying that employee table, one column is active. Is active. So by default, all is active should be 1, because whenever the record added, that is the active employee. But whenever the employee left the organization, I can simply switch the flag from 1 to 0. So your front-end applications who are all displaying all the employee information, they will have a query. Always they will return is active equal to 1. So they will get only the active employees information. If somebody want to get all the resigned employees information, they can change the query to is active equal to 0. Does it make sense?
Yeah, that I understood. But okay, but that is okay. That what
You're
you're
trying
saying
to
also
recover. Your question is trying to recover. How can I recover the data if I deleted by mistakenly or something like that?
But yeah. For example, I didn't write the effective or something, whatever maybe. Okay, in that scenario, by mistakenly delete the data. Is it possible to recover the data from the once delete the data?
There is a logging based on, currently no. Basically, if it is a transaction system, yes, you can recover. If it is not a transaction system, it is a huge process to recover the deleted records. It's not right away straightforward. I'm not going to be cover that one right away, but there is a way. There is a way we can recovery, but it is a huge process. Okay, in real scenarios, in real system, how we design the databases is we don't allow you to go ahead and delete the record in the database. We will make sure that you will just set the flags yes or no, so that we can recover the data back, or we can report on the deleted records also.
And for example, in this case, in scenario in the SQL and any temporary table or deleted table or inserted table like that will be there. We don't have that, correct?
Yep.
That option.
Yep. Okay. Now coming back to here, I want to retrieve all the employee IDs less than 3. Right. So this one. So this where clause is based upon the conditions, right? So this condition, if this condition returns true for the given row, that row will be displayed. Otherwise, that row won't be displayed. So generally, first it will take all the records from the employee table. It will go each record and check whether this employee ID in this record is less than 3 or not. So this is the first condition. This is the one condition we have. If this condition true, then it will return. If I want to add the another condition, so there is a AND clause or the OR clause. And A and B, if I mentioned A and B, condition 1 and condition 2, both must be true to satisfy the to result out the record. If the one record failed, then it won't return. So let me take like this, and let's take gender equal to male. If I mention like this, how many records you should return?
It may be records, maybe depending upon the case. For example, both will 1, 2, 3 will male will be recording will be 2. If you don't have that one female.
See the screen, okay, and tell me what is the output for me.
In the output only for 2 only.
2 record employee ID 1 1. So there should be 2 records for me. Okay. So wherever the first condition employee ID less than 3 and gender equal to male. If I mention OR, then how many records it would come?
It will be 3.
It would be 3.
Yes.
If I give the female, it would be
3. No, it may. Oh, total.
So OR clause, it will take the condition 1 or condition 2. If any one of the condition is true, then it will return that record. So
and one more thing also, this employee ID less than 3 means you will take equal to 3 also, only 1, 2, 3 only.
It is less than means it is less than only.
Less than only, correct? Okay.
Yeah, less than 3 means less than only, right? So
Sir, I have a question.
yes.
In case the condition 1 fails and we have given condition 1 or condition 2, how will it return?
It will check either of the condition true, then it will return. It won't stop to check for the next condition. So a condition 1 or condition 2. So which means either of the condition true, it will return. If I mention and, both condition must be true. If it is failed itself, then it won't check the second one. There is no point of checking if it is and.
You have to remember this one logic actually. Whenever we study now, just true, only true, false, 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 true.
We'll come to that point. We'll come to that point. Okay, it is in our list. Okay. Now, if you want to give the another set of conditions, you can give just like a and or. Let's take or first name. Let me give less than 3, gender equal female. I don't have any other options. Okay, or first name F name is equal to, let's take like this. So see the differences. If I give like this, I give the first condition and second condition or third condition. So which operator will execute first? That is the question. Okay. So if I execute like this, see the difference. The first one, it check whether these two are succeeded or not. So the execution start from the left hand to right hand. So it checked the less than 3 and gender. So it took the result set. With this result set, it is checking OR clause. So the second condition true. That's why all the things are falling true. But if you make OR here and here, then it won't return any record for us. Sorry, it's a 3 or female and the first name 1. One second. Male, employee 3. This is true. True.
That's maybe correct, sir. Actually, because employee ID less than 3 means we are checking from left to right. So this employee ID less than 3 is true, and the remaining other maybe also false also. It will be displaying only 3.
No, basically the situation over here is I didn't mention this as a single command over here. If I mention like this, yes, the result set whatever it is written makes sense to me. Okay, so this makes sense to me because this is employee 3 or the condition. Okay, if I didn't mention this one, as for the instructions what we have here is, okay, here first name 1 or gender female. Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad. So the execution starts from the right to left. Okay, on the top one also. First, this executed this part. Okay, this executed this part. In this scenario, first 2 records satisfied with the first name 1. The last record satisfied with the female. So all are the satisfied, and all are the less than 3. That's why all the 3 records got returned. Okay, so the second part again, this part executed. Okay, here AND class it's failed, right? But OR class succeeded. That's why it's all the 3 records are showing up. So the execution starts from the right to left. To avoid this confusion, we would go by the open parenthesis and close parenthesis to make sure that this is one set. Then it will.
Sorry, you mean to say that execution start from first check the first name, then once after that employee will come like that one, right to left, correct?
Yes. Okay, so if I mention like this, you see the differences. Okay. Here, the first one is first name 1, right? So these are the only 2 records. AND class and the less than 3. So we have the 3 records over there, but it's required AND class. So the only 2 records selected. So the difference between this statement and this statement is only this parenthesis. You guys got it? Right? But in this scenario, this executed first name and female. Okay, or this one. So R command executed last. So all the records passed due to this one. But here the first name and this is one combination. In this combination, all the 3 records came plus and first name is equal to this one. So this one executed next one. So this is the one set. On this set, this is executed. That's why it's filtered out 2 records.
This is the employee less than 3, gender female is equal to all the records come, correct, sir?
Yes, this will come all the records, but here this condition filter out only 2 records. But here also the execution starts from the right to left only.
In this case, what about the first one, sir? Female first record, first name. In the second case also same thing, correct? In the first case.
So see the difference.
I'm talking the middle one.
Middle one can give all because these 2 are unsatisfied. So we got the only 2 records. But here it is the R executing last, which will bring all the records. Here, this statement will execute once, and this statement altogether will execute once. So the last statement, as it is combining with the AND, it's just reduce the records. So you need to make sure that you separated your commands, your conditions within the parentheses. That's the takeover point.
Can I want to repeat one more time if you don't mind? This middle one, and first that is gender female and first name is a failure. That's the reason we'll take 3 records. Employee ID. That's a failure.
Yeah,
False.
it's all false. Even though it's succeeded, whatever it is, it doesn't matter because this is all true for all the 3 records. So true or
that's it.
false. Yeah. Here.
And then, for example, this is a case may be true. Then we display all the records.
Yes. Okay. Now coming back to this part, filter the query. Now I want to delete the one record, right? So where the employee equal to 1, I have the duplicate of the records. If I go back and delete this record, okay, I don't want to have this 2 records over here. Delete from TBL HR dot TBL employee, where you can use the where clause along with the select command. You can use the where clause along with the update command. Excuse me. You can use the where clause along with the delete command. You can't use the where clause along with the insert command. There is no point of the insert to filter out the records. So delete where emp id is equal to 1.
But we deleted both the records, yes, sir?
Of course, right? So wherever the condition true, it will record those 2 records. So after few sessions, you can tell me how to delete one record only. If it is the duplicate records I should have 1 record keep and remaining record should be deleted. How can we achieve that one? We can talk about this same query after 1 or 2 sessions.
But actually in this scenario, in this case, it may not be possible, sir, because all the column names are...
It is possible. It is possible. I can tell you how to do it. Insert time, everything is same. Everything same, right?
Yeah.
If you remember, everything, each column is same. Still, even though each columns are the same, we can delete 1 record, we can keep 1 record. I can tell that concept later after few sessions. To cover that one, I have to cover few concepts. Without that one, I can't jump onto the point. Okay. Where? So suppose if I select all this information. Okay, now I got it. Now, see, I want to check where the date of birth, right? Date of birth is, again, I have the nulls. So the date of birth, I want to make sure that one of the condition where DOB is equal to null means, right? So can I write like this, or can I write select star from HR.TBL employee where DOB is equal to null, or select star from HR.TBL employee where DOB is null. Whenever you are trying to compare the data on the columns which has the null object, you have to use the column is. If you directly just use the equal to, the null objects won't be covered. Null is the different kind of object in SQL Server. A null means unknown. Null means unknown. Unknown. So DOB equal to null. You have some value is equal to unknown. Value equal to unknown, it doesn't know whether the true or false. So the output value of this one is not known. That's why there is no record shown up here. And null is not equal to the space here. So that is a completely different object. So that's why it didn't return any value here. But you can specify the null objects with the is clause. So is clause will identify the null objects. So whenever, suppose you have the last name where few records has the nulls, then when you are trying to read all the records I want to get. Let me make one record null. Last name equal to 5, right? So I want to update L last name employee 5 to null. Okay, update. Can someone tell me what is the syntax? Update hr.tbl employee
Set L name.
Okay, set L name.
Is equal to null.
Null.
Where employee ID
empid
is equal to 5.
Good. So in the equal update command, in the equal to, you can use the equal to. It's not required is, but in the where class it is required is. That is the one thing. Second thing is, let me just read this one. Now I got this one, right? Now I want to write a query. My intention is where the last name not equal to employee 2. Okay, so select star from hr.tbl employee where last name not equal to, okay, I'm copying all the things. So I don't want this record, I want all other records. Okay, so my query is, I don't want this record, I want all other records. But if I execute this one, I'm not getting that 5 record. I still want that record. So that is not the last.
Why we are not getting that record?
That's what exactly I'm going to, because the null is not null, right? So the value for that record is null. So last name value is null. Null not equal to last emp2. We don't know. Null equal to some value, it would be null. Null not equal to some value, null. Null not equal to null, null. So the unknown is equal to some value would be unknown only. Okay, and unknown is equal to not equal to some value is equal to unknown only, and unknown is equal to unknown also unknown only. Unknown not equal to unknown also unknown only. So unknown equal to unknown also true. No, that's not right. Okay, that's why you have to write your command like this. Lname like this, or lname is null, or lname is null. Then you can get this record. Are you guys able to follow?
Can you repeat? We are getting it.
So here your lname for this record is null, right? The null not equal to last name emp2, that is unknown. Null means unknown. Unknown not equal to some value, unknown. Whenever it is became the unknown or some value, unknown, if I give the and, it will become unknown. But unknown or this is true. That's why it is able to get. Initially, when I just have only one condition, this is unknown, which is equivalent to the above condition, equal to unknown, equal to null, second condition, this like this, right?
So this is a bit confusing.
So think about, okay, let me repeat one more time, guys, no worries. Okay, so if I execute this one, for this record, what is the value in the lname? Null, right? So it will substitute as null not equal to last name emp2, So where clause will return the record if if the condition returns the true. If the condition returns true, then it should. So generally null not equal to this one, that is true, right? But in the
Yes.
null object perspective, whenever you are comparing the null with some value, the output is unknown. It's not true. It is not false. It is unknown.
Okay.
So that's why this condition became unknown. We have to write explicit condition to make it true. That's why I place the or. L name is null. Yes. L name is null. Yes. Right. So unknown or true is equivalent to true. That's why this record got displayed over here. Is it clear? So
how will it change if it is and, sir?
If you give the and, that's a good question. So you tell me what would be the output.
If you can don't mind, can I want to what are the items are available in HR DVL employee right now? Can you
It
just show
will
me?
give,
1 second, I will come back to your question, Lax. But yeah.
so this query will give us 2 output.
2. How come
Yeah.
one in a given record, L name is not equal to last name and L name is null? So this is unknown, right? Unknown and true is unknown. Unknown and true is unknown. It is not true. So you need to understand this Excel. Okay. Let me just. This is the only concept test. Give me 5 more minutes. I don't want to take your Friday evening. Sorry about that. Just we are about to done. So let's take. There is a P value and Q value. Okay. Conditions. Let's assume. And this is a true. This is a false. And there is a P and Q. Let's assume P and Q. And one more condition is P or Q. Okay. So if it is a true and false, P and Q will be
False.
false. P or Q?
True.
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 Okay, then true and true. P and Q.
True. True.
P or Q.
True.
And false and false.
False and true.
P and Q.
False and false.
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 Then false and true.
False and true. False and true.
True. Good. So here unknown and false.
False.
Unknown.
Unknown.
Okay. Here
Unknown only.
unknown. This is going to be the false because it is going to be unknown. Okay. Here P or Q is the false or unknown is false. It's going to be unknown. Okay. So sorry, it's unknown. Unknown and true. Here P and Q.
Unknown only.
Unknown. And this one?
Unknown only.
True. What if one of the condition is true? P or
that's
Q
correct.
is true. So
yes, correct.
okay. And like that's it. Okay. Unknown and unknown. No, next one is unknown. Unknown. It is unknown and this is unknown. So whenever you are dealing with the unknown with the other value, true or false, whatever it is, until unless it is a or condition, then it is true. Otherwise, it is unknown. This grid will help you to understand much better. In this scenario, the previous one, what we gone through here, initially is just unknown. That's why the result set is unknown. And unknown and this is true, right? That's why unknown. Unknown or true is true. Okay. So you need to make sure that while you are writing a queries with where the column has the null values, you have to extra write this piece of bit. Otherwise, your columns won't be retrieved. Your rows won't be retrieved. Okay. Go back and try some of these queries and play with the null object. That is very interesting and important things. Okay. So important things, play with your insert, update commands and delete commands. So I hope everybody got created their own tables based upon our online store, right? And you are trying to insert some data. So insert some data and play with the update, insert, delete commands, all these things. That will give you the base understanding about how to read the data, how to modify data, how to delete the data. In the next session, we'll go through how to bulk upload the data, then further queries, how to select a few columns. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yep.
Sir, actually yesterday's session 23rd, it's updated in my account, but it's showing the 22nd session. So could you please update the yesterday's session?
Oh, okay. I will have a look on that, guys. I give the
Okay.
post. Okay, maybe it's got repeated, maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
I will have a fix.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will have a fix.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thanks for letting me know. Okay, one more thing, please be remember, we don't have the session on Monday and Tuesday. I have a planned trip which is planned a very long time back. Our next session is on Wednesday. Sorry about the break on the middle. I have a planned vacation. Actually, it's a planned almost a few months back.